Welcome to HANA Café the Netherlands. SAP TechEd Season 2022 is about to kick off at 6 o'clock with a keynote by Jürgen Müller. He will be somewhere in Las Vegas presenting the latest and greatest on SAP technology, probably on business technology platform as well. In the Netherlands we wanted to have the keynote watch party like the past years. The first half of that is to discuss the expectations on the keynote. What do you expect? What will be announced? And afterwards, what is the evaluation of the keynote? Did you hear what you wanted to hear or did you miss something? Welcome to HANA Café the Netherlands.
Welcome to HANA Café Nederland with Coen, Sanderink, Jan Penninkhof en Twan van der Broek.
And I'm really happy to have our regular visitors for the HANA Café, Coen Sanderink and Jan Penninkhof in our café.
It's a pleasure to be here again.
Yes?
Yeah, also Jan. Yeah, I hope you're nice this evening because you started already a little bit.
Okay.
Oh boy!
You stole my script.
And we have started.
only because I wanted to collaborate with you.
Oh, collaborate. Okay.
But the nice thing today is that we have a real audience in our studio.
Yeah, full house.
Yeah, so TechEd could not plan something in Barcelona this year, unfortunately. But I'm really happy that you join here in the Netherlands to discuss on beforehand the keynote and afterwards also the keynote. So welcome to the HANA Café in the Netherlands, all of you. And also the people that are watching online, welcome to the HANA Café NL stream. If you have any questions or comments or expectations on the keynote, please leave a comment behind in the chat and then we can discuss it here at the table of our HANA Café.
Definitely.
Expectations. What will it be this year?
I think we'll mention something about low code, no code. I see it on the laptops here, and there's also somebody in the audience with a nice shirt of it. So I think that will be a large part of the TechEd.
Yeah, already the press release was already out. We were
Yeah.
trying to keep it secret and silent.
Yeah,
And
I had a workship today with the old slide because the new slides are not yet available. Yeah, Peter mailed me, but that was during the workshop. So I already told them, and I feel a little bit guilty that I also pronounced the new name SAP Build, but a few hours later the press release was out, so I was
Wasn't it as an embargo until the 6 o'clock or something?
Yeah, it was. But sometimes you have to be. It's also strange when you have customers and you tell a whole story full of enthusiasm, and they work, and the next day they wake up and they have that's totally different story than I heard yesterday. What is it? So you have to be balancing that a little bit.
So we have a scoop. Pre-TechEd scoop.
Yeah. This afternoon, if you followed the Sapporo workshop, you had a pre-TechEd scoop. Yeah.
the Sapporo workshop, nobody knows what the Sapporo workshop is.
The Sapporo workshop, yeah, that's our workshop where we explain the business technology platform on a high level. And we have an analogy with a cooking school, so that our customers have an idea of what is it, what's in there, what can we do with it, how can we start with it, etc. It's a nice workshop. Made it myself together with my colleagues Niels and Ronald, but it's quite well rated. So.
If I'm typing something, it's not that I'm bored or I'm not interested, but I'm trying to welcome our guests online.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Jan, any expectations from your side?
In the same line, I guess. A lot of renaming.
Yeah, probably. It's a yearly
I mean, that's what happens every TechEd, right? Yeah. So having to get used to a new lingo, new vocabulary. Yeah. Apart, of course, from a lot of learning. I think that's the key of every TechEd, to learn a lot about the latest and greatest of SAP, the leading and the greatest and the bleeding edge of technology.
So last year we
bleeding edge.
Last year we also discussed the keynote and also the TechEd, also in a separate podcast to discuss the TechEd sessions. And the thing is, if you're not on site, a lot of consultants or at least people interested in the technology find it difficult to reserve the time because you're not, you're at home, you're doing work for your customer, or and then you try to follow an SAP TechEd session. And that's a pity. That's only in Las Vegas that you now have the hands-on. What is it called? Hands-on lab. Something that's called.
Yeah, it's a hands-on lab. You have hands-on workshops.
Yeah.
I think
500 maybe we can ask people.
And we have people here, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
did they reserve the agenda?
Yeah.
For
So
TechEd?
it's not only a matter of trying to watch the keynotes from the kitchen table while your kids are on the table and stuff,
That's
but
difficult.
at least you had the opportunity to be here. and to have your reserved spot and to have a dedicated focus on the keynote.
How do you call that? Be here or be? You said it during the teaser.
Oh yeah,
Be square.
Be
be
square.
square. Yeah, something like that.
So they are here, and the rest is.
Okay. Interested. Anyone who want to share expectations on the keynote
Be there.
from your side? Yeah,
They
Bart.
have to walk to the microphone.
Thank you, Bart.
otherwise-
There's
yeah.
always somebody has to be the first, but Bart, thank you very much. Yeah, can you also stand over there because then the camera is.
Yeah,
No. Turn.
Sorry.
Yes.
Well, I'm expecting a lot of stuff on the low code, no code. I checked the agenda. I did some wonderful workshops with AppGyver process automation already. I expect something here, like the backend capabilities. I saw some session. I will not do all of the sessions because I know already some stuff, but I will do the fine tuning. I expect to watch roadmaps because I want to really fine tune and check how we should direct our developer group, because we have like 30 developers more or less, and I need to know, should we go all in with AppGyver, should we focus more on CAP, should we focus on RAP? I want to get all the insights, what's happening out there, and just validate my understanding if it's the right understanding, and for sure collaborate. So I will also spend time in the learning zone, because there you'll find probably hands-on sessions, I believe.
But you reserve time for that, Bart.
I reserved a full day tomorrow.
So,
Probably I'm going to replay a lot of sessions and trying to do as much as possible. The only thing that I missed is actually the developer keynote. I'm not sure if I missed it.
that's at
Maybe
6,
I'm wrong.
isn't it?
A
No,
developer
that's
keynote, huh?
This is the executive keynote, and the developer keynote was usually the day
The day after.
it.
And
Yeah.
this one was very meaningful because a lot of developers asked the questions you could even rank. And then you had really meaningful discussions with Thomas Young and the people. And I missed it.
There's not, but they prepared the developer keynote.
I did not see
Tomorrow
it.
we have the business application keynote. That's around 6
Yeah, but
same
it's
time.
The
Thomas
business.
Alvarez.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the developer keynote.
Yeah,
kind of
I'm
thing.
looking in the
With the
agenda,
guy
but
with the blue
but I won't see it. That's why I'm.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe we have to check. We come back to that later.
I was
Maybe
pretty
it's-
late, to be honest.
It would be great
But
if it's integrated in the keynote by Jürgen.
I hope
because
so.
That would be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does somebody else know? No.
Nope.
Peter's also nodding. No.
So it's not my mistake at least. Good.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, but that's a very interesting keynote as well. Yeah, the developer keynote. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You
And
can
you
leave
nog-
the microphone on
It's
the.
a good question for later, actually.
Yeah.
I suppose those kind of questions aren't answered during the tech at keynote.
Yes, a lot
We-
of questions
we,
came in.
we still have our product management guys over here that may be able to answer those questions.
Go ahead.
Can you share your name and the organization? Because from Bach I
you
know,
can
but
leave it in there.
you can
if
leave
you-
it
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
Hi, I'm Raghav, and I'm an enterprise information architect from Cognizant. And yeah, so I'm looking at the key developments in the BTP platform, as well as what is going to happen with data intelligence and DWC. So I'm hearing some rumors where it's going to be positioned into. Is it going to be a part of a unified platform? What else is coming into the unified platform? So looking forward for that.
And how many tech heads did you already experience?
Couple of them already. So yeah, so actually that was more of sitting from home. So now being on site is actually a good experience.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you never visit the real tech head experience like in Las Vegas or in Barcelona or in Bangalore.
I haven't got that
No,
opportunity.
then
Yeah.
that's something to look forward to.
Yes.
Hopefully next year we can have such an event again. Yeah. All right.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So we have already Accenture and Cognizant in the house, and SAP. And who wants to share expectations on keynote? Yes,
Yes.
Victor.
Oh, we also have Google.
Ah,
Victor, Google
they are
Cloud.
looking to our technology.
Yeah.
Welcome,
of course.
Victor. You're welcome.
So I'm coming as a blank page.
Oh,
So I just want Keynote to surprise me. I think it has been a long time since Keynote really introduced something that nobody expected. And this is something that could be interesting to see, because I remember my first TechEd 2010 when HANA was introduced.
2010.
Yes, and that was interesting experience.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Blank
That's
page.
a long time ago.
Yeah,
Yeah. But what do you mean with blank page? You didn't
like I
prepare
didn't
or-
prepare. Or
Ah, okay.
anything.
Yeah.
So I
But you
have
reserve time to to follow some
Yes.
sessions, or
yeah.
is it?
Yeah, usually I don't build any agenda because I never follow it if I build it. So then I just go, what's on?
Yeah.
And then I do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
But I just mentioned Google. Maybe you can explain a little bit what you do with Google in relation to SAP.
Of course, yeah, we are partnering a lot, Google and SAP, right? Not just in terms of running SAP as a hyperscaler, but also partnering in data analytics, executing programs like Better Together when we come to customers in a combined proposal, so that we can play together for a benefit of the customer.
Yeah.
And
And
since we're always hunting for scoops, any announcements on SAP and Google this year?
He didn't prepare, so.
I hope so. Let's see.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I have a question because what I see is that we start using more and more services from other companies, for digital systems using Watson, but also from Google in process automation, for example. We start using the AI document service, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking to Jan, because if he's looking, what are you telling now? Okay, never mind.
it's always
That's a B2B service.
Yeah,
So I think we do very interesting things with Google as well to extend our AI portfolio.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. That's what I mean. Can you tell a little bit about that from Google's perspective, or?
Yeah, I think there were a lot of developments together, Google and SAP. There was an announcement and releases of S/4HANA workspace integration, like with Google Sheet, Google Docs, and so on. So we can compete together against Microsoft.
Yeah. But that's
There
an
were-
announcement from a few years ago, right?
No, it's recent.
No, it's quite recent, and it was released in S/4HANA like
Really?
like the latest version.
Oh, they just changed the date on the press release.
Like you can export to sheets and then
Yeah.
make changes and then upload
But
it
I
back.
think I saw it in a demo with the last keynote by Björn Gurke.
That was announcement. Now it's released.
Oh, now it's released. Yeah, so it took some time.
It takes some time, right?
Yeah.
Also, the process automation. So I heard it will be renamed or whatever. But also, the integration with our AI services, again with Google Docs, slides, and so on, with Gmail, so
Yeah.
that you can automatically process in SAP your incoming mail and so on. So there are a lot of cool stuff we're doing together.
Then it's time to get all the new stuff on the table and create something great out of it. And you, together with an old client colleague from SAP, you created something nice earlier this year.
A year ago. Yeah, we collaborate a lot with SAP.
SAP processes and your SAP data, of course, which is hopefully also an important topic for you, Nick, later on to talk about data and what you can do with it. And that's
It happened before. I think it was about before COVID even that we started announcing things about cloud integration on-premise.
yeah.
On-premise agents for cloud integration, and we're finally going to release it sometime next year.
Yeah, but it's also a long-lasting request from customers that have privacy issues and stuff and security reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't out yet. It will be, but now it takes some time.
It's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not sure if there's any announcement in that topic, by the way,
Oh,
but
it's a scoop.
who knows?
Who knows? Scoop from Jan.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Other expectations? Are you afraid to talk to the microphone?
Actually, I'm quite curious because it's my first TechEd.
Yeah.
I rewatched the last one in parts.
All of
before
them?
I joined. Yeah, I joined SAP in April, so no, not all of them, just the keynote. So, but now it's different because you're really into the ecosystem. You're working with it. You're telling it yourself, and actually you're quite curious what exactly they will tell during TechEd. So I also have to make notes. So it's I'm happy, and I'm also. My idea is that they will also announce SAP Build. But you have different opinion. You think they will also announce some other things, but I didn't get anything about that. So I'm curious.
Yeah, me too. It's always the question what's coming next, and I think on the technology part, at least the past 5 years, we have changed our strategy a few times, or at least,
I see also people nodding in the room. Yeah.
No, we didn't change the strategy. We did.
Yeah, no,
So
yes.
with cloud platforms was more.
Let's say we evolved our strategy.
That's so nice. Okay, maybe I should follow this marketing course on how you how you explain
How to sell
things.
B2B.
Yeah, no, but it makes it more clear on what is the path ahead, and also the clear how the integration is with Google, like with the hyperscalers, and the service that they provide, and instead of SAP providing everything itself, which is good, with focus, but it's still, if you look compare it to 5 years ago, it's quite different on the technology part. So I'm always waiting for SAP Tech to see, hey, what are we going to do?
What do you expect? What do you hope?
I think what is important is that we use all those new capabilities, whether that's AI or low-code, no-code, which will be in, that's what we know for sure. But also what you can do then, you're going back to our roots is good. Going back to processes and supporting people that run a business with all kind of processes is important that we do that in the right way, like 50 years ago when we first started with the releases of SAP. But nowadays you have a lot of new opportunities doing something with your data, whether that can be predictive, and that will be still in analytics cloud and the service that we have over there. But also on the IoT part, and that's the part that still hurts me, because when IoT was introduced, it was really something, and we had a podcast with Atos 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
It was a lot about IoT, and then we had to say, okay, you're still using the IoT service from BTP, but it's going to be sunset, and you have to find another service to connect all those sensors. And if you're running a factory with all kind of machines and data sources, I think it's good to have this tight integration into your SAP processes. And that's where I'm wondering, what are we going to do with those kind of things? And is it then a proper announcement? Is it just, you have to find out yourself? Because find out yourself is something that we did before we had Cloud Platform. Then you had NetWeaver, and you had a lot of integration to all kind of things. But all those kind of things you have to figure out yourself. With Cloud Platform integration, you have the connectors, a lot of connectors. Jan, you probably know by heart how many connectors we have.
50? 60? I don't know.
I thought it was more, even.
Oh yeah, the open connectors.
Yeah.
It's about over 190 at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So that's good. But yeah, so I'm curious in what will be the adjustments on the technology part, what we can do with business technology platform, and of course we know the pillars, data and analytics, it's development, and it's integration, and it's AI. But the pillars there were more pillars. So I'm wondering what will be announced on that.
Yeah, I think also one of the things that you see happening now in terms of strategy is the pervasiveness of the BTP. It's basically everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as you log in, whether it's Concur or Ariba or anything, it's the BTP.
Yeah.
As soon as you print something, output management, right? Printing invoices, they are often rendered on the BTP. It's the integrational part also. If I look at, for instance, process automation, built now, right? If you look at the service that you mentioned just now, the document information extraction service, it's not something that you have to call through an API on anymore. It's built into the development environment so that you can just invoke it, just drag and drop it, and off you go. It's that kind of pervasiveness of the BTP that you see all over the place, inside its own services, so that all these APIs are not, all these services are better integrated, but also those services that we provide on the BTP, whether it's AI or whether it's document information extraction, or whether it's logging in. I think one of the really greatest examples is the whole document information extraction thing. It's something that we used to have in Concur, right? You took a picture of your receipt, your hotel receipt, and it immediately knew, like, you've been here, this is the gross amount, this is the date, and it was able to basically expense it, right? It's that kind of services that we thought would be beneficial for more use cases than just from Concur. So we carved it out, we made it available on the BTP, and now all those applications that we have in our line of business suite can use that service, right? Including customers themselves. And partners, obviously. So that's a great thing about it. So the pervasiveness is really strong.
The one
in
platform.
there. Yeah, and also, you know, if you look at how SAP has been going to the market with the intelligent enterprise, we also always had this process on top, applications in the middle, and the BTP on the bottom, right? And now it really starts shining and showing why the BTP is actually the foundation of everything that's built on top of it. Whether it's existing applications like SuccessFactors, but also, for instance, applications like Data Warehouse Cloud or DMC or Analytics Cloud. They're all built on top of the BTP. And even if it's not built on the BTP, it's often invoking services on the BTP to do its job.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so critical, it's become so important for SAP's applications. And the cool thing is that I think we don't only use it ourselves, we have opened it up for partners, for customers to use it as well and to build their own innovations on top of.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, so the strategy from a few years ago, where we keep the core clean and use the BTP for the extensions, that's really paying off. That's finding its way in the market now.
Yeah, but the strong point is that we also use those services in our own line of business products, like Jan has mentioned.
Yeah.
And that makes it really strong. And then also can customer use that separate server to make their own customizable extensions. And then you really are on the right track to the public cloud, in my opinion. And that's actually, and in that sense, I'm also very curious about SAP Build, because in my vision, my interpretation of the SAP vision, let's state it that way, it's also a very crucial milestone in our journey to the public cloud. We have the private cloud net, where you still have some custom development that's still possible, but in the public cloud you will also need custom development. It's not so that you can do everything on a standard ERP system. So how can you make those powerful customizations? And I think that SAP Build, the announcement, that is a vital part in that.
Yeah.
Going back to your keep the core clean thing, right? It basically embodies the whole pervasiveness of BTP services. Like we used to have this ERP system in the public cloud, right? So S/4HANA Public, and then you had a login, but you weren't able to go to all those development environments, right? So SE80 was off topic, off limits. You weren't able to use it. And the only way to basically connect to your public, to S/4HANA Public, was to create an application on the BTP and call all kinds of APIs and stuff, and then eventually you were able to do something with the data that's in there. So if you look at how pervasive the BTP has become, S/4HANA Public now has a development option. It has developer extensibility. And even though it doesn't seem like that it is running on the BTP, because it's so tightly connected, you can just open, well, not tables, because that's still off limits, but you can open CDS views and do things inside, basically, as if it appears like it's inside your S/4HANA environment, without actually being inside your S/4HANA environment. That's how pervasive it is. It's like almost a symbiosis between your line of business applications and the BTP.
Well,
That's
really
really
good, because
yeah,
as a
it is.
customer, you don't mind where it is, as long as you can do your standard application, but also your extensions to the application.
Yeah, so pervasiveness is actually integration. So making sure that this embedded steampunk, as we called it, right? This developer extensions, as we call it nicely, according to marketing folks, is now embedded in your S/4HANA system, and it looks as if it is one. You know, if you have your S/4HANA system being one with your ABAP environment, which simply didn't used to be that case. That's how integrated and pervasive the BTP is starting to become.
We have from online, we have Matthias Wild and also Matthias Steiner watching together with us. Matthias Wild saying, it will be interesting to get the latest news about the free tier and the developer editions. I really would like to watch the developer advocate session live. So the developer keynote is not called the developer keynote, but it's called the developer advocates session.
Problem solved.
But it's at
When is it?
It's 12:30 in the night. So you have to stay up very late today or watch the replay. And of course, you probably all know that all the TechEd sessions will be available via the SAP TechEd YouTube channel.
You can also record it on tape.
Video. On
Yeah, on
VCR.
video, VCR, yeah, if you
Nice.
want.
Retro.
Yeah.
And Matthias Steiner will probably have some expectations on low-code, no-code. And he's saying, I'm typically looking at things from a customer first, partner second, and SAP third perspective. Okay, maybe I should have read it before I was reading it. And so I hope there will be plenty of customers there. But that's, of course, it's about the customer. the customer first, whether the partner second, or I think it's always a triangle. You have the customer, you have SAP, and you have the partner, and the triangle should be in balance. And if it's only SAP, it's not good. If it's only the customer, it's also not good. If it's only the partner, it's not good. But it's the balance between the three of them.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. But hopefully, and probably will be, the customer stories during the executive keynote with Jürgen Müller. Any customers in the house that like to share expectations?
Yeah, I was waiting for that the Google was, let's say, went out of my memory, because I'm not the tech guy, and not I'm from Henny van Heuvel from the Rabobank, working in the finance world. So always worked in the finance departments and working with the finance solution from different vendors in the last few years, or a couple of years with SAP. And what I see is that when we acquired S4 HANA, we thought, oh, we have it all. And then it became clear we have to have more. We have to have the bridges between the outside world, as I always call it. So for the the inbound and the outgoing data, but also the bridge between the application and the user. And that's what I saw a couple of weeks ago with the AppGyver and with the process automation. And what will be there more? And that's for me the question, because they were shown as two components. Are they combined together, and what will they be more then to service the user, the end user, towards the end application, the S4 HANA solution?
Yeah. I think you will have a good time during the keynote, and also after the keynote, with where we can discuss also with Peter and with Mark Huber on this SAP Build new service. Thank you very much, Henny.
Yeah, maybe good to elaborate. Henny was mentioning to the SAP Global Build and Automation tour we had October the 21st, I guess, something like that.
Yeah.
It was here in Den Bosch.
Recent.
Yeah, it was quite recent, and
Yeah.
it was actually quite an interesting day with also around 35 partners and customers who are here. And they built actually an AppGyver app to scan an invoice, and then with the process automation to put it in S4. And it was quite interesting. And you also did some of the when it became hard, you stopped. I heard.
No. I finished the exercise
you
really
finished.
quickly.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
What do you think?
My mistake. My
You had to
mistake.
prepare for the podcast.
Oh, you had to prepare for the podcast. Yeah, that was it. Okay. Sorry, Twan.
No, but it was a nice event, and if you want to have more info on that, then there is still the podcast, also with Peter and with Mark,
Yeah,
and with
HANA
of course
Café.
the regulars, Jan and Coen. Was a nice day that day. And so the low-code, no-code, as Henny already explained, so how is it going to be more integrated? I think we're going to see that in the keynote, or we can ask it later to Peter in the second part of this TechEd watch party, TechEd keynote watch party. Also there are a lot of low-code, no-code possibilities. We have our own AppGyver solution, of course, for that. We have on the partner list, we have Mendix, we have Neptune, we have a lot of other low-code, no-code solutions. And somewhere from the low-code, no-code, you came up with a statement, I guess, that as long as it's low-code, no-code, and as long as you serve your business users, it doesn't matter what kind of platform you use, as long as you be fast to deliver innovations to your end users, right? And I'm hoping to also hear something about that. How is the openness of the platform? BTP is an open platform. How the openness is also serving the low-code, no-code need by all of our customers.
Yeah.
So they want to keep the core clean, but they still want to have extensions on a low barrier, easy level. So how can we facilitate that?
Yeah, but I think there is a difference between the focus of Mendix and OutSystems and all those other types that really are focusing on a low-code, no-code platform, and SAP Build, which is also a low-code, no-code platform, but it's really focusing on how can you extend and how can you quickly change and adapt the SAP ecosystem. And while Mendix is more focusing on a far broader range of use cases, that touches also the SAP system, but also other systems. I guess, but we have to watch the keynote, that SAP Build is more or less suitable for that, and that the focus will really be on our road and journey to the public cloud. Yeah. So there is still, I don't think, I don't know what your opinion. I know your opinion, but there's no one low-code, no-code platform for each that a customer can buy. I think if you're really SAP centric, then SAP Build would be logical for SAP extensions. But if you want to create apps on a low-code, no-code base that also interface with other types of things, then I think Mendix is definitely a very good choice because it also integrates good with SAP.
Yeah.
And it's still.
Yeah, so we have to see what they're coming up because we don't know. But the thing is, if you look at Sapphire, which is the other event on a yearly basis, Sapphire, I think 2 years ago came with Rise with SAP, the journey to the cloud and leave no customer behind. And very important in that story is the partner. So it's always a triangle, SAP, customer and partner. And hopefully also now on the technology part, also it's also what Matthias is saying, how do smaller partners fit into SAP strategy? Not only by, okay, you have a solution and you can integrate it yourself, but I think it's important. We had a discussion earlier this year, Jan, with some colleagues from, okay, can you have a discussion on partners that are not on the how do you say, on the prijslijst, the price list from SAP, can you have a discussion then in our HANA Café? And we said, yeah, you can, as long as the partner is using a solution that's using SAP technology or SAP processes, it's good for the customer because it helps the customer. And I think that's also the openness of the platform. And if a customer decides for Neptune or for OutSystem or whatever, it's still using the SAP core, and then it's good.
Yeah, the whole thing about Rise, of course, is to bring customers to the cloud.
Yeah.
In a most cloudy fashion. So just taking your existing system that's running in the basement now and putting it somewhere in the cloud on a virtual machine and stuff, that doesn't cut it.
No.
Because you want to make use of all the features that cloud offers, like elasticity and that sorts of things, right? And also what we intend to do is when we bring S/4HANA to the cloud and all the other applications, by the way, they're all web-based, right? And what we saw is that a lot of the applications that were built in the past were basically using all UI technology and that sort of things. So a lot of those applications need to be, if they want to go to the next level, to the next era, they have to be rebuilt in another technology using things like, DIMPROs needs to be converted into Fiori applications basically, or other web applications. So we can still use ABAP for parts of it, right? And even with embedded steampunk, you will have the ABAP option in your public and cloud environment, but eventually the user interface is not ABAP anymore. And you can use different technologies to do it. Fact is that you have to rebuild all those DIMPRO applications into something else. And the statement for what I learned from you now, Coen, is that it doesn't matter how customers really do it, but most important is that they make that journey into the cloud and embrace those new technologies.
Yeah.
So will ABAP be in the keynote? We didn't discuss ABAP yet. And you brought it up to the table.
ABAP.
Oh, it's new.
Is ABAP still not dead?
Yeah, so. Any explanation on ABAP from the audience on site?
Embedded steampunk is available.
Can you? Thanks, Bart.
Dan moet je daar staan.
We know in 2022 embedded steampunk is available on-prem as well, right? So we can also use this embedded steampunk on-prem. I did the beta testing, I tried myself. I must say you cannot access all the tables, right? So you need to use the whitelisted APIs, CDS views.
Which is good.
Which is still good, but I had one example, an interface to create a business partner, very famous class, CEL, blah, 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 maintain. I could not use, right? And I would expect that this one would be whitelisted because it's to create a business partner. Yeah. So I think the options for embedded steampunk are still very limited, also on-prem in 2022.
Yeah, there's a good reason, by the way, that the embedded steampunk doesn't allow you to connect to those tables anymore.
Tables I understand, but classes, like the class to create a business partner is a very common object, right?
Yeah.
The business partner. Why not whitelisting?
That's a good question.
I
think that should be a question that you should ask to the product management team.
I think so.
Of the ABAP environment, right? Because they are doing the whitelisting, and it wouldn't be surprised if in the future this class will be whitelisted.
Yeah, it's growing and growing, and it's very interesting to see that it comes from cloud, it becomes available on-prem, so it makes the journey to the cloud more easy, right? At the end. At the end.
Yeah.
Bart, now you're standing there. Can you press on the aan button of the box? I think.
The aan button.
Yeah. Can you press one more? Yeah.
But leave it off because then we can continue talking. Now, otherwise, he's going to play music.
Yeah, because I have to play music, but it's. Do you hear something?
So it's,
Yeah.
it's 10 to 6. Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. So
Yeah.
that means that I have to wrap up.
Yeah, it's also a little bit of general practice, eh?
Yeah, so we can, because we have to do it a lot in the second half of this today's show. So thank you very much for Bart, for really like Accenture, Cognizant, Google, Rabobank, share expectations on the keynote. And the keynote will start in 10 minutes. Yay, but it's the music how loud. Do the dry one, it was better. So what we will do is we will close up this episode, the expectations of the keynote of SAP TechEd. We will, of course, with all of you, watch the keynote in another room. The people that are watching online will watch it from their home base probably. And we will return at 1940, if I'm right.
1940 sharp.
As sharp, and of course after the TechEd keynote has ended. And then we're going to evaluate the keynote together with you watching online, together with you being here at the SAP office. Thanks very much for joining. See you in 1 hour and a half or something.
Yeah, I've one thing, I don't see a lot of hoodies. So next time I want to see a little bit more hoodies.
For the group picture.
For the group picture.
Do you know how warm it is?
By the right.
Yeah, I know because I'm sweating myself.
See you.
Ga je dansen, Koen?
Leuk toch?
Ga je dansen?